Good morning. I'm coming at you this week from beautiful Grand Teton National Park. In this week's video I've got a very special guest. This is the man who helped inspire my love of nature and wildlife. This is my dad, Wally.
And Jimmy, thank you for inviting me to come here. I love nature, and I'm glad I was able to inspire Jimmy and the rest of my children with the love of nature and being outdoors. And we woke up with a great start this morning. It was cold, but we saw a bluebird right next to our tent. Later in the day we saw 5 grizzlies, the famous 399, and that was just a few hours ago, and we hope to see some more.
Yeah, like my dad said, we've already had an amazing morning. Like he mentioned, we saw 399 and her 4 cubs. We were able to get some video and some pictures of her and some beautiful morning light. It's just been an amazing time so far. So come along over the next few days as we travel through Grand Teton National Park and head up a little bit into Yellowstone National Park as well. Really looking forward to this week's video and spending some time with my dad. Just a quick update for you. We're actually in Yellowstone National Park now. We spent most of the day yesterday, well, about half the day yesterday in Grand Teton, and then we drove up to Yellowstone. This is the first sunlight we have had since 399 yesterday. We've just had an amazing time though. The rest of yesterday and this morning was fantastic. We've been able to spend a lot of time with bison, some pronghorn. We actually saw a black bear just a few minutes ago. Got a little bit of footage of him. He's pretty jumpy though, so we didn't push him. And best thing, we saw a black wolf. I'm still just thrilled that we saw it. That they're my absolute favorite, and it was an awesome encounter. He came super close, and we were able to get a couple of pictures, and then he kind of moved off and went over a hill. But it was just amazing. We're having such a fun time. We've had a lot of crazy weather, a lot of rain, wind, snow, sleet, I mean just all of the above. It's been crazy, but we're making the most of it, and it's been a lot of fun. With that weather, the animals kind of hunkered down for the day, so we went out and just did some more scenic photography with some streams in the area and whatnot. A lot of fun. Just thought I'd check in though and explain why we haven't been doing a ton of video. Good morning. What an amazing time we have had in Yellowstone this trip. Like I'd mentioned before, it's just a really quick trip. We hit the Tetons for about half a day and then came up to Yellowstone. We saw that wildlife I told you about yesterday. We had kind of a fun experience when we got back to camp last night. We pull up to our campsite and we didn't see our tent, and we noticed that it was on the ground, kind of collapsed. It had snowed so hard that it collapsed our tent, and by some miracle it was okay. We got the snow off, and the water inside had cooled in one corner and kept most of our stuff dry. So we had a good night's sleep and came out this morning, and we're just out looking for wildlife. But it's been an awesome trip, pretty quick, but we've seen a lot of amazing animals and had a lot of fun experiences.
We have. We can probably count them on our two hands, the number of species that we saw. And you know, one of my favorite parts to me was the mother bison helping her young calves to come back up off an embankment that they couldn't reach. But she set the example for them and went back down and went back up, showed them how to do it, and those little calves, at least one of them we saw go follow her mother, and the other one we hope made it.
Yeah, that was a really cool experience. That wasn't something we were able to document, but we just watched them for a little while, and like my dad said, one of the calves got up, and the other one, we went back later and couldn't find it, so we hope it found its way back to the herd. But we just had a lot of fun experiences this trip. Thanks so much for following along. And we're gonna start heading back home now. The weather's starting to get pretty nasty again, so we don't want to get stuck up here. Well, we would love to get stuck up here, but we do have to go home, and we don't want to get to the roads and have them be closed when we get there. So we're gonna take off. Thanks for following along, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be back at you again next week with another video with some other awesome wildlife. And I just want to thank my dad for being a special guest this video. We've had a lot of fun this trip, and I look forward to doing this again with him next year.
Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you all, and enjoy.
I usually make it out to Yellowstone and Grand Teton National Park a few times each year. These are two of my most favorite national parks to visit, and I get out here as often as I can. I love all my trips out here, but there's something special about coming out here and spending time with my dad. I truly feel lucky and fortunate to be able to have these experiences with him. He's taught me to appreciate and respect nature and to leave it better than I found it. This is something I hope to be able to teach and pass on to others as he's done for me. These national parks are such special places. They're protected areas filled with such beautiful scenery, landscapes, and iconic and other wonderful wildlife. As visitors to these wonderful places, please remember to leave it better than you found it. Respect the animals, those who work in these parks, and the other visitors around you. Don't litter and pick up trash when you see it. These natural places need our help. Protect and respect them and get out and enjoy yourself responsibly. This trip was so much fun. Even with the constant rain, sleet, and snow, we saw some amazing wildlife and made some awesome memories. My heart still starts racing every time I think about that encounter we had with the black wolf. What a beautiful animal, and I feel so lucky to have been able to experience that with my dad. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We certainly had an awesome trip. We had so much fun. Thanks so much for following along, and we will see you next week.